Abu Dhabi Echo, straight ahead. Continue past that runway and then on Bravo.
Straight ahead and on left on Bravo. Abu Delta Echo.
Still 298 November Delta, Executive Tower, running 31, clear for takeoff, flighting 315.
Clear for takeoff, flight heading 315, 298 November Delta.
Full force Sierra, ready for the holding short runway 31, ready for departure.
Trigger 984 Sierra, Executive Tower, runway 31, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 31, Papa 984 Sierra.
Seconds, helicopter 401, Foxtrot Whiskey. Helicopter 401, Foxtrot Whiskey, Executive Tower.
See. All aircraft required read back runway assignment and hold short instructions. Advising this to contact you, Victor.
There we go, little right, correct. Alright, wait, stabilize it. Yeah, but it's okay, let it go. Okay, now look at something at far outside. Don't think about controlling the object. Relax, breathe in, breathe out. Try to slow everything down as much as you can. We have the room, so that's a luxury. And right here, you wait. That's a sweet spot right there that you have. Nice. Right pedal, tail clear.
Clear.
And you're going to follow the yellow line. Watch the tree. If you stay over the yellow line, you don't have to worry about the trees. If you go a little bit to your right, yeah, now you have to keep an eye on them. Up. If it goes fast, all you do is you slow down, you stop everything, and you start from scratch. Nice. Look at the jet. Well, he's moving, but I mean the hangar all the way back there. Gonna slow down the relative motion some.
Lima, turn at the next intersection, November. Contact ground point 75, no delay on the runway, traffic short final.
Nice.
Next intersection, November and...
Yeah, we're into the wind, huh?
Lima. Yeah.
And look at the difference. Right there, you don't even have to think. You're already stable, beautiful. I'm gonna make a little call. Executive Tower, helicopter 311 to Tango at Shelter West for a whiskey departure to the west with information. Victor, please.
Helicopter 3113 Tango, Executive Tower, procedures requested, departure from the ramp will be at your own risk. Altimeter 3007.
26, lying in wait,
All clear to the left.
Clear.
And you can make a turn in that direction. Nose is a little bit high. Raise your power just a bit and push your nose over. Beautiful, that was very smooth.
Fort Lauderdale exact, this is Sky 10.
Sky 10, Executive Tower.
Afternoon, Sky 10's got a story about 2 miles to the south along 95 and coming from the south.
Sky 10, procedures requested, altimeter 3007.
3007, and I'll let you know when we're on scene.
Roger, we're at 3 Hotel Julia, contact ground point 75.
Ground point 75, at Hotel Julia.
Let's make the cars look a little bit
Tango Sierra,
smaller.
running 26, clear for takeoff, turn right heading 315.
200 feet on the altitude. Gentle climb,
runway 26 and turn right heading 315. November 51 Tango Sierra. Tower November 1564 Victors, hold short. 31.
A little bit more.
Cessna 1564 Victors, Executive Tower, traffic departing running 26.
A good attitude right there, see?
Yep.
It's a gentle, progressive climb. Oakland is coming up, that's your next turn. You can just screen the horizon, other than that helicopter, no traffic. And get ready for a right 90-degree turn to a heading of 270.
Cessna 64 Victor, running 31, cleared for takeoff, proceed on course.
64 Victor, cleared for takeoff.
Very nice.
So 64 Victor, running 31, cleared for takeoff.
64 Victor, cleared for takeoff, 31.
I would put just a little bit of right pedal, just a little bit.
Sky 10 is on scene.
Sky 10, roger.
The turnpike, right?
Yeah?
The turnpike right here?
Yep, that's kind of our... No, this is a turnpike.
64 vector contact departure.
Turnpike 9. So this is yes. Not quite here.
Contact departure.
We got maybe another give or take mile. But when the canal, which is over there on the right now, starts to make that turn, or anyways, when you start joining the canal, that
Tower
is
Hawker 804, Mike Romeo visual.
right there, you're outside the airspace. And I'll show you that on that map. I'll blow it up a little bit. You see, that's the line of the airspace. So visually, we're outside.
We are almost there.
Yeah. So later on, when you'll fly, we'll pay attention of, okay, airspace, that's a landmark. So even if that thing doesn't work, you know exactly where you are, you know. Oh. Now that we are outside, no traffic in any direction, shake up the cobwebs a little bit, your show.
Traffic's a mile southeast of you, same altitude.
That's too low.
For the
Remember,
we have the traffic.
we're very noisy. For us,
Bravo,
it's
Juliet,
fun.
Bravo, Bravo, you're 6 miles out now.
A-firm.
Bravo, Juliet, Bravo, Bravo, runway 26, cleared to land. Traffic landing, runway 31, will hold short of your runway.
For us, it's of course fun, but for most people, it's a bit of a nuisance. So we try to keep a little bit of altitude. For example, when you're going to go, chances are you will, go to Robinson for their safety course. Well, there's so much helicopter operation around that airport. Of course, all the neighbors are going nuts. Well, the altitude around that field is 1,000 feet AGL, above ground level. And they're pretty strict about that. So it's again noise abatement in mind. We have some power lines. So what's the safest way to cross power lines? Show me.
Above the poles,
Yeah,
tower.
Always above that tower. Crane over there. Those are tricky because they're very skinny. And this color yellow on that kind of already yellow background.
Yeah, it blends in, but I've seen it.
It's deceiving, yeah. Good. So you see the ground moving now?
Yeah.
60 knots. 100 feet off, but I mean, long story short anyways, that's 60 knots on the ground. With a bit of a head, I mean, on the airspeed indicator with about 10 knots maybe in our nose. Sure thing, 46 knots on the ground. So that's what it looks like. That speed would be something around more like 200 feet on your approach later on. See what I mean? So kind of memorize what you're seeing right now, the way the ground moves underneath you. Again, you picking up as many elements as you can. Very smooth, very nice. Good control on the altitude, it didn't move. All you did was a very progressive raise of that collective, matched with the proper amount of forward cyclic and pedal. So now we have, making a picture, 22.5, which is really not much, but the airspeed is 70, which is a decent climb speed, ideally around 60. And we have about 300 feet per minute on the climber. You see what I mean? So now you're taking mental pictures.
Yep.
Snapshots of what the spar is giving you.
traffic, find a manner 18. I'm Bravo, Blue Creek, I'm turning south.
Those power changes giving you in relationship to the attitude that you see outside, ultimately that gives you the performance of the aircraft, or what you're actually going for. $200 is fine. You're going to project the center right there. You're going to make actually a 360-degree turn around those trees back there, or whatever you select. Oh, deer, cool.
A deer, yeah.
Big one too. Yeah. Getting your feet wet. So, okay, we're not going to have to take out. Okay, so let's take those trees, that little circle of trees right there.
Okay, I thought you want to...
Well, we can go back there, yeah. If you're getting set up mentally for that, just go back there. And you're going to do a 360 around it. Now, the trick is that you're going to try to keep your airspeed constant, your altitude as well, and the radius constant in relationship to whatever you decided the center of that circle to be. And we're going to see...
Right here, this one?
Yep.
You want to go around?
Yep.
Okay.
So try to lock on those numbers. Okay, that's good. Not slower than 50 because we're a bit low. And there you go. Now it's outside, inside, outside, inside. There's going to be a side of that turn that's going to have a larger or greater bang than the other. And it seems like it's this one. Yeah, it's stiff. It's pretty stiff bank, right? Because you're preventing the wind from pushing you away from the spot by doing this. So sure thing, the wind is coming from there. Therefore, you're going to have a shallow bank coming up about now. Or if you were to keep the same bank angle, you'll get too close to your spot. Right around here, you're going to have to shallow that.
Yep.
See what I mean? There we go. So right there we did a recon. Okay, we're not going to land there. But right there we did a recon, and in the test process we actually figured out also where the wind was coming from. So, the road being to your left, you can go and parallel that thing, so you're going to, well, let's, yeah, do one more turn in practice. Okay. It's a very good idea. Actually, it's amazing how this is, thing is that is not done enough early in the game. Very good. Clean on 500, clean on 60, you don't even look in, you're looking where you should. Then again, little glance inside and out is not a bad idea. I'm just, oh, everything works, okay, cool, let's go back hard, we're done.
Okay.
There we go.
You said something about the road in front?
That's the road, correct. So now you're going to make a 90-degree turn towards the east, right turn. And we're going to keep the road on the left. And we're going to call that a left downwind. So now that we know that the wind is coming from the west, you already kind of see that at one point your final approach will be over that road facing west. And here you're going to figure out, okay, certain things here. Let's make it easy for ourselves. We're going to do 70 knots on that airspeed. Altitude is fine for now. And we'll leave it like that. And just look at the distance.
Okay.
Now take the time to analyze that, but let's say that if I wanted to go back towards that road, it's pretty close, isn't it? It would be a pretty steep turn, right? Your passengers might throw up on that one. Okay, we're a helicopter, so yes, we do things like that, but I mean, and you can do them very smooth at one point, but right now we're going to go to some benchmark stuff that works consistently, a little bit square in nature, mind you. So it starts by taking a little more distance from that road. So you're going to go there, go a little bit further to the south. And we're going to build, give or take. Why not? Let's make it big. And we're going to make a 747 pattern here. We're going to take a whole mile away from that road. All you do is a 90-degree turn to your left.
No?
Yep.
Okay.
The nose goes up a little bit, the airspeed decays just a nudge, beautiful, very nice and smooth. Altitude is nicely kept. Nice. Again, now that we have time and everything is slow, pay attention as to how the things on the ground look. The speed at which the ground moves. The wind on our beam is not going to basically indicated airspeed now is almost identical to ground speed. And the next thing in mind is, well, I'm going to have to make another left turn to go on that final. We're going to start this one a bit on the high side. We're going to leave it like that, it's fine.
You want to do it now or?
Perfect, no, wait a little bit. Actually, start making a turn when you think that if you make it nice and smooth, you're going to be lined up with that road facing west. Right here, we're losing a little bit of speed. Yeah. And also here, the wind going through the aircraft and all those things. You're going to line yourself up with that road first. Analyze what you get. A little bit on the high side, but that's okay. We're going to now take time to pick something on that road, form of a landmark that's going to help us in approaching, and it's a bit tricky right here. Okay, well, let's improvise a bit. Remember the trick? You're going to push that nose over for 60 a little bit. You're going to wait gently, right there is about 60, and you're going to drop your manifold pressure.
Match the needles, right?
And you're going to make those needles look at one another. Or at least parallel anyways. Stay over on your road, so with the cyclic, go back to your road. Demonstration didn't quite work. You can raise it back up. We'll go back to 300. Now, on the way up, look, actually... We're going to go back
to go to
up.
300 feet? Okay.
Yeah, go back to 300. We'll do it one more time. First, but basically what we're playing with over here a little bit is first, okay, how to get control over the approach phase. Then, of course, we'll start working into the angle, how the collective and the cyclic works and so forth and so on. But we need some kind of a landmark on the ground so that we can use the references inside the aircraft. Okay, I'm going to go just a little bit higher. I'm going to help you on this just a little bit. I'm going to go to 300. We're going to go back to about 60. And wait for that to happen. Bam, 300 I got. 60 we're waiting for. We'll level the ship. Lower the collective a little bit. So we stop that climb. And now progressively bring the cyclic backwards with the lower lowering of the air. We're going to try to get those numbers clean so that you see what we get. If I am to keep on dropping, obviously it's going to be a little bit higher for that match to take place. So we're going to try 70 maybe, just for you to see. And those needles are looking at one another, right? Almost?
Almost, yeah.
Look at your descent rate. You're doing nothing. Stay on your road, though. That you can still do. Just, you know, make little navigation changes into your road. There we go. Perfect. Look. Actually, more like 7. So stuck with a 22. But look at the descent rate. Nothing to do. Constant, 500 feet per minute. And we can let that happen all the way down. The ground's coming up, so instinctively we want to kind of slow down. If we're using numbers here, we could be maybe 50. So let the descent rate, now that you have the attitude that works for that. 500 feet per minute still. 100 feet, 50 knots. Look at the end of your road. Start changing your focus at the end of that road. And ever so slightly, start bringing that cyclic backwards, super slow. A little bit of cyclic over to the left, so stay over your road. Now we're going to feel that ETL. You feel that vibration?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right there it sits. So the trick now, yeah, is to push the cyclic ever so slightly forward to reduce that vibration. Once we start getting close to ground, which is now, that vibration disappears because we meet our ground effect. Look at the end of your runway, or the road. Start pushing the aircraft forward, accelerate your hover. Beautiful. Now hold this, don't move. If anything, it's a slight pressure forward. beautiful, a little bit more. Airspeed is coming alive very nicely. Raise your power. Oh, and let it climb at this rate, which is once the VSI wakes up, about 500 feet per minute on the ascent. There we go. See what I mean? So we're going to do a few of those to where you feel your approach, the vibration, the airspeed, certain numbers that you would like to get, and then we'll start working on to a specific spot. So, you got the big picture?
Yeah.
Okay,
I can say
well
that.
now it's practice time. So you're going to set yourself up, same thing as last time, to where the road is to your left. This is going to be your crosswind turn, left 90 degrees towards the south. Take a distance similar to last time, so you have time in your base, time in your final, and experiment. I won't touch anything, unless I have to. I'll just bring some numbers just to refresh them in your mind if I see they're a bit off, okay?
Okay.
Now it's practice time, so.
You wanna go back on that road, right?
No, you don't have to go all the way back there. But it's a long road, huh?
Yeah.
So once you get things that you like over here, that you feel confident about your next move, go for it. But no rush. Take your time. The trick, try to do it in a way, as slowly as you feel comfortable with. Eventually, as we go along, of course, the process is going to accelerate. The room needed is going to become smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like, you wanna go over the road or you wanna do right here, like?
No, here's fun. This is your downwind leg.
Okay.
So again, because we're going to use. Yeah, we're good. We're going to do the same thing now around an airport on our way back. So this is your left downwind to imagining runway 26.
Hey man, how you doing?
Uh, 400.
I understand. Very good. That if you verbally assist yourself, it reinforces what you're doing. It helps you organize yourself and stay ahead of the game. Very good. Oh yeah, and of course we look at the cockpit and everything is clear on that road. There's one guy walking. But I think by now he's all the way back there, so.
We can turn right.
Yep. The descent ideally takes place in the base leg. You don't want to lose too much altitude in a downwind configuration. Let's say that something happens, you took yourself about 5 seconds of glide by going 100 feet lower, because you would have to turn back into the wind. Of course, you have no choice. You would have to accept that downwind condition.
Alright, take care.
So without altitude is a good friend. Potential energy, you know? Here we're kind of working with a little bit with performance and numbers and what we're looking inside. Here we noted that it was more like maybe 70, so 2 birds with 1 stone, because you're going to just lower your collective but do nothing with your cyclic.
Yep.
If you do that, the nose will go down by itself, so there will be a little bit of increase in speed maybe. And actually that is even good, go like that, fine, because you're controlling it already, good. So now you're using that third guy. Don't allow that needle to exceed 500 feet per minute. And you have that very smooth ride on the way down. Now on the ground, I'm looking at the way the ground is moving underneath me. It's a bit fast for my taste, so I would be slowing down, but very small input, so we don't change the attitude too much. Now you're playing with that, and you stretch it as long as you need to. A little bit too fast again, just a touch. See what I mean? Good. But good, because now you see you're on your road, so... Okay, a little bit on the fast side. So now it's going to come a time where the tendency is to slow down too soon. So, right around here, ever so slightly, raise a little bit of collective with left pedal. Push the nose forward, right there. We'll hold it. Don't look far outside, look far outside. Control it, control it, control it. Look far outside and stay in your line. Boom, right there. Paf! Don't move. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Hold your line. Imagine you're on a railroad, and those skids need to be perfectly parallel with those roads. Raise your collective. Make that obstacle back there. The birds are going to stay low.
5 miles south of the...
There we go. We're back into a climb again. Kind of a little bit of a compromise on this one because you picked up the other, but you did the right thing. You needed to avoid the thing. Let's stay at this altitude and work again that final portion. So again, set yourself up before we go too fast, where you're allowed a little glide to take place. There we go. The VSI is going to slowly but surely go into a negative value a little bit. That would flatten the disc just a bit. 50 is perfect. There we go. And now allow the aircraft to drop. If we don't make it to the end of the road, just navigate around the curve and we'll go towards the southwest. How's outside? Now really it's more outside than inside. So you're getting a feel for the ground. Again, the idea, when you get about 100 feet, would push it a little bit forward. Just another, there you go, now she slides. The idea is that that last 100 feet, look at the end of the road, start pushing, raise your collective a little bit with a little bit of left pedal, left pedal, left pedal, left pedal, left pedal, left pedal. Not bad. Right here, it's okay. Look outside. Look, when this happened, look outside and just hold for a second before you make a correction. Okay, we're sideways. Now we look. This is a good altitude. We're not picking up any stuff. Look way down that road. Start pushing her forward. If anything, all the correction will be forward. Subconsciously, yes, there's a little action going to your right, so you don't even realize it, but you're actually pushing the cyclic a little bit to your left. Hold, 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 hold. Again, the takeoff portion is the crucial portion there. The only thing that we have really at our disposal in some case something happens is the airspeed, so we want to build that. There we go. Lock on the perfect. Hold exactly what you got right here. Okay, that's 70 knots, right?
Yep.
Bit fast, fine. It's a great attitude right here. Remember it. Lock it. You have a lot of range on that power, so gently raise the collective, but you know that this is going to raise your nose a little bit, so eventually you're going to have to match it, but ever so slightly some forward pressure, but not too much, because the idea is that we want a rise to take place. When that takes place, you're looking at your VSI, you see 500, boop, and you push it as it reaches that number 5, and that's going to keep that climb rate of 500 feet consistent. Now we're looking outside. What does it look like? There we go, our VSI, our altitude, everything, our airspeed, our
200 now.
everything we need is at horizon right now. So we're getting the little number there, we match it to our horizon.
The bend in the Hillsborough, proceeding eastbound, close range.
Yep. Well done. Can do a little break over here. If you want to go fly low, if you want to go in one direction or another, or follow a road or something,
okay,
you can. The next phase is going to bring all this savvy, which is a little bit soon, but to bring all this savvy around an airport now. Okay. And actually, before we get there, we'll pick up a, it's going to be more towards Sawgrass Mill back there, but we're going to pick up something on the ground. A landmark of some sort, and we'll perform one more approach. And we'll train that a little bit before we get around the airport. And that approach this time around, now we'll have a spot that we would like to land on, so we can use a target.
Traffic 1 Archer with Square Lakes, 2,500 feet. We're heading back to executive.
46 there, you got Skyhawk 2,000 feet just south of the bend in the Hillsboro, heading southeast bound to Pompano.
I have it in sight. I'll keep an eye on it. On your end, you're going to reduce your speed a little bit. And you're going to start on this note, everything clear behind you, to make a reduction in speed to 60 knots as you're making your 180-degree turn. That's going to be decently steep. As you make the turn, that vertical component of lift, of course, is going to be lost, and it's going to help you in allowing the aircraft to make a descent or create a descent rate for itself. There we go. This, you see where it holds on the strings? For me, it's right there on the top of the strings, right? Pretty much? Okay. So that's a normal approach angle. Now what you're doing here, I know we're going a little bit on the slow side, but again, it's acceptable, is that with your collective, you're controlling that angle. If it goes high, you go up with a collective. If it goes low, you go low with a collective. That spot in relation to your strings, you pulled an imaginary line across. The rate of closure right now is perfect. So
I can tell now.
It's very good. But at one point, be ready for the little vibration, which is ETL. It's about to come along. When you feel that ever so slightly pressure forward with your cyclic. Right here you can help in supporting the aircraft by raising your collective. Beautiful target, look far outside.
When we get back, I was here.
Very nicely done.
Yep.
Boom, you take a target outside, I don't know, a power line, something, a pole. The ground is cool. Keep that altitude. Don't go higher. Build your speed. Oh, not yet. Try to let the aircraft climb when you reach on the airspeed indicator about 60 knots. Now that we know roughly, okay, we were a little bit higher, so relative motion was a little bit slower. But from this altitude, that's about 60.
Yeah.
Memorize what it looks on the ground. You know, that could be stuck water in it, who knows what on one day. Well, I don't want to take off if that happens, but you want to use your other senses too. There we go, now you're allowed to climb to take place. Beautiful. And back to 500 feet. Clear, and you make that 90-degree turn. Now, from that point on, it's continuing to climb to 500 feet of altitude. Airspeed is good. Very nice. Hard to pick up a target, so I would use my compass right now in order to hold on to a northbound heading and or a full 180-degree turn. Okay. But you see what I mean?
Yeah, what is that thing?
Huh?
The patch.
The The what?
The patch of
Oh, we forgot about. We'll pick up another one somewhere back there.
Okay, so we're right at 500 feet now.
Perfect. Now we're kind of in cruise. So
the speed is a bit higher.
It's perfect now, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to work the final portion of the approach. And randomly turn 180 degree, hold 70, hold 300. There's a little bit of a climb here, so push the nose over just a bit. Line yourself up almost into the sun. The sun is a bit to the south, so we don't have it completely in our face. Finish your turn on a heading of 270.
84014 dispatch.
It is going to be right in our face now.
Yeah, and we keep it there a little bit so it doesn't kind of shine in our face directly. And we're going to pick a spot somewhere, tell me, or...
We're going to just roll out somewhere really quick. You're going to be back. Now, and I'll be back in the next hour, so you're good. You have an hour.
See, you have kind of a road that's here on the Everglades, right?
Yeah.
And then it makes another bend over there where it almost looks like a two-lane road. Well, right there in that bend, that's where you're going to make your approach. So you're...
The first one here or the second?
This one, it's 12 o'clock right in front of you.
Okay.
No need to change any the direction. But you can start working on the airspeed, so we can start working on 60 because this is a normal approach angle right now. Lower the collective already. A little bit of a direction change. I think we're maybe not looking at the same thing, but there we go. So you stay on top of that road. I would bleed the speed just a little bit and lower the collective and keep on bleeding the speed. A little bit nose up. It's going to do two things. It's going to kind of control the descent rate right there. There you go, and put us back on the target. Back click over to the left so we stay over our road.
A couple cross countries today.
Awesome. How do you like it there at American?
There you go. Now you basically support the aircraft, so ever so slightly cycling back. Ever so slightly raise up collective with a little bit of left pedal, cycling left. And now you feel the vibration?
Yeah.
Right there's your cue. Raise a bit of that collective left pedal and forward cycling right there. And hold. Not that much, yeah. Do you see what I mean? Now you're finding your sweet spot. Yep. But it's a very small amount. We're right there on top. Look far outside. As you raise the collective, always some left pedal. On this type of aircraft anyway, stay over your road there. Good departure profile. It's tricky when, next time, the sun is tricky. That's why I wanted to stay offset. Because it's really hiding a lot of stuff. More speed, raise your collective, but be ready for that nose rise, so push the cyclic forward, raise collective more. Beautiful. Now if it dips a little bit, make the adjustment with your cyclic. That is your max 5.
Yeah.
See what I mean? What you want. Now you got everything that you need, a lot of energy. I don't quite see where I'm going. Let's get away from that sun. So, you can make a right turn 180 degrees, so you'll do a climbing turn on that. So you're gonna, the power's perfectly set. Bring the nose up with your cyclic. Go to an airspeed of 60 knots. Gonna give you a very good climb performance. And we're picking up altitude as we're making our turn back to the east. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So, the airspeed for a good climb is typically around 60, 70. I mean, at 80, we'll have a climb.
I think by the book is like 55, right?
Correct. Good,
but
good.
you need the extra kick for in case
But if we have too much speed, we're not going to really get the climb that we want, and that's a wide open invitation to pull way too much power in order to get the performance that we're looking for. So it's again really attitude. So yes, lift over drag ratio is roughly around that number for this kind of aircraft. So that's where we would get the best performance for the climb, for the steep approaches, for ultimately the auto rotations as well, for conserving fuel. Of course, on that note, is around that number.
Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport Information Whiskey 2153 Zulu, wind calm, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 24, dew point 13, altimeter 3006.
Okay.
Wind calm, temperature blah blah 26 and so forth, the altimeter setting, and well, 26 is in use. Okay. You tell me where the airport is and just point the aircraft in its general direction.
I think we have to turn around, right?
Yeah.
No?
In which direction?
This one.
Yep, correct. Sawgrass Expressway is right here.
Yeah.
You peek a little bit at your numbers there. Good. Don't go too slow. Here you can, of course, we have all this altitude. Now we know one thing is that if we follow Sawgrass Expressway, we'll stay outside guaranteed from this airspace. So you're gonna fly southbound, I guess, for a little bit. You follow Expressway, so you have a point or a landmark that you can trust. Airplanes up there are on a left pattern.
Yes.
For obviously. Looks like on an approach back there, so the runways back there are turned around, which is kind of odd, but it looks like they're using actually 8 for FLL. Or 9 over there now. So this right here is Oakland Boulevard.
Okay.
And the little canal is just behind it. You see it?
We should have a golf course somewhere, right?
Yep. So right now you know, okay, if I go further south, I'm going with the big boys back there, which is still clear of the airspace, by the way, but you're getting closer to that airspace environment. So now by following this, correct?
It's our canal, right?
Yeah. You're kind of already set up for your downwind leg with an adequate distance away from the airport, because now that the tower is finally big, you can kind of guess the control tower in the airport right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they're going to turn the lights on so we can start seeing the beacon. The beacon, the problem is not on the tower actually, it's underground, it's low, or it's close to Banyan. But from this distance and this altitude, it's going to be hidden by structure. So we'll see it, but we'll see it late. All you're working on now?
To lower the altitude for
it's 500 feet and the speed of your choice.
Alpha Executive Tower, I have your request.
I'm going to speak slow, so try to listen. Executive Tower, Helicopter 3112 Tango.
Helicopter 3112 Tango, Executive Tower.
6 miles to your southwest. Inbound for a Sierra arrival with information, I believe, uniform.
We got the 12 Tango, 8 information, whiskey's now current, wind 350 at 6, altimeter 3007, Sierra arrival approved.
Sorry, it was whiskey, Sierra arrival approved for 3112 Tango, thank you. Simple. Now you hold 500 feet.
7 Alpha Romeo, where are you parking?
Going to Bayman and unfamiliar, 7 Alpha Romeo.
7 Alpha Romeo, roger. Can you make a left at Quebec?
Yes, I can make a left at Quebec, roger.
7 Alpha Romeo, roger. Left
Did you grab everything I said?
Left turn,
yeah,
ground point
where we are and where we want to go.
Yeah. Telephone call. Hello, it's me. I'm 10 minutes away. Can we see?
24 Juliet, runway 26.
I'll be there in 5 minutes. We know what I mean?
Runway 26, clear touching go, 24 Juliet.
It's far, I know.
Eastbound is a helicopter midfield.
Landmark.
Islander 131 Juliet Lima, I'd like to request 31 if possible.
Islander 1 Juliet Lima, roger, make it straight into runway 31.
When we get to the edge of that lake, it's northwest 21st Avenue, so you can start mentally preparing that turn.
Traffic inside, 24 Juliet.
Islander 1 Juliet Lima, runway 31, clear to land, hold short, runway 26 for landing and departing traffic.
Runway 31, clear to land, and we can
right?
Correct. It's going to be a 90-degree turn to your left. You're going to basically aim
Islander 1 Juliet Lima, roger.
somewhat towards that control tower.
Clear to land, full length.
Watch the nose. You
full length 31, clear to land, Juliet Lima.
a little bit of cyclic further. We're going to be a bit too slow. Perfect.
The right midfield.
Right here, we got 200 feet to lose. The airspeed is perfect, so the attitude is good.
Landing runway 31 Islander.
All you got to do is lower that collective.
Runway 26, clear to land.
And adjust your cyclic, because the nose will drop a little bit. So all you got to do is maybe as you lower the collective, bring the cyclic ever so slightly backwards to hold that same sight picture.
Traffic's on the opposite downwind of Paro on a mile right base. Report traffic inside of 800.
Looking for that
Don't go too slow. So that's a compromise. We can raise, since we have all that room, we can raise a little bit of collective so you don't go over your 500 feet. So bring a little more power. Now, you know what I mean? Fine tune your speed. And our helicopter 3112 Tango, 1 mile to your south. We'd like to stretch this landing down to the observation area, please.
Call executive tower, say again.
Helicopter 3112 Tango would like to land at the observation deck.
Helicopter 12 Tango landing at the ramp is at showing risk area not visible from the tower, altimeter 3007.
Thank you, 12 Tango.
Fort Lauderdale, exact Sky 10 is clear west.
Sky 10, roger, frequency change approved.
Sky 10 back.
Islander 1 Juliet Lima, exit
gonna
number ground point
where?
75.
Can go into ground, Juliet Lima.
It says Sierra, arrival. You got beautiful numbers, you're set, you're cool, you have time to watch for traffic, performance of your system, everything is cool, analyze already. Oh.
Mooney 4 Juliet, turn base, runway 26.
Next thing.
Clear to land.
At one point you're going to make a turn to your left, following taxiway Echo.
Around the tower?
Yeah, around the tower. You want to keep the tower to your left now. A little bit of, bring the power up just a bit.
Then downwind, I'll call your base.
We keep the speed because we're going to stretch it all the way to that white and red box over there. Yeah. Beautiful, very nice. Nice and smooth. Very clean. Good turn here. Don't get too close to that runway. I mean. Now we have that normal approach angle right there. We level it. Beautiful. It's a good target actually because we can kind of lock it in our windscreen. So we're going to start working with the collective since we're a bit high. And I'm going to go and set it for you a little bit. There we go. And we're going to see. Boom. This is going to kind of hold it for a while. Eventually there's going to be a correction, of course, but. Now that's what I was talking about. The vibration is right here.
So you push forward so we can get...
because now you're not... You're a bit on the high side, a very low airspeed.
6 mile final report inside.
So you want to keep things somewhat dynamic. We're going to of course land a beam that box, not right on it. So you want to carry that glide to somewhere to the left of that box a little bit. And I would say here. Vibration, feel it?
Yep.
Hold it right there. You just ride that vibration. Don't let it increase. Now look, we're almost 1, 2, 3. Woo, vibration disappears because now we're in our ground effect. Winds calm, predominantly a little bit out of the west.
Object 367 is executive tower, runway
so hover
26,
time.
Land traffic, Mooney short final.
Stay with it. Make sense? Somewhat.
Wind 340.
Like a pendulum.
It's kind of, yeah. Because what you're doing really here is that you're controlling the pendular effect versus getting right into it. See what I mean? When you're putting your controls in there,
776 Lima Charlie.
now you're inducing. It's called pilot-induced oscillation. It goes to the left,
776 Lima Charlie. Number 776 Lima Charlie, executive tower.
Roger, we're at the Charlie ramp, Edwards, and we like a Charlie departure southeast bound.
Helicopter 6 Lima Charlie departure southeast is approved, departing ramp is at Traverse, September 3008.
Roger, approved, 6 Lima Charlie departure.
Very nice. So you know where it is. Let it slide, go backwards a little bit, boom, let it slide. Beautiful. Now, this was close to a minute, right?
Yep. This came 1-2 right there.
Yep. And this is it. Two things. Well, first, you know where it is. Second, the altitude, of course. I mean, you know, okay, well, I don't have to worry too much about the ground. I mean, it's subconscious. Even though you don't, you still do. It's a natural preservation, you know, the ground. Okay, so, but if you can do that, like this here, and again, it's psychological, you can do that closer to the ground. Okay, so we're going to go for a little landing. And here's the little landing that I'm going to, very early in the game, try to bring up. Is that the cyclic obviously is not moving at all. Look, or a little adjustment that you're doing perfectly in order for a little, look, stable. We are a bit high, we're 30 plus feet above the ground, fine. But we're not going to move the cyclic. I'm going to get away from those little stickies. Not going to move the cyclic. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm not going to mess around with your controls, but I'm going to make sure that you don't. I want you to feel something else. I want you to feel the collective going down, eventually the ground effect that we're going to meet, that resistance, and how to deal with it to make a clean landing consistently. So we're here. Now I'm lowering my collective. As I lower it, I know I'm going to need maybe a little bit of that right pedal, but very slowly. Cyclic doesn't really move. I have my target in front of me. And I'm waiting for that resistance. Actually, you can let your hand off the collective if you want. Take your hand off. Hand off. Other than the pedal here and there, the aircraft actually, when it meets that ground effect, is going to start climbing out.
Yep.
So now we're actually bobbing here. Not good practice. You do that in front of Richard, you're going to lose your check ride right off the bat. Okay. But the idea is that to show you that, look, if I'm allowing this aircraft to go down gently, slowly, into its ground effect, since we have no day, so when, and even if it goes faster, eventually it's going to find enough air resistance underneath that disc to where it's going to go up by itself anyway. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is next, is that still, okay, he stood at OK in front, we're going to go low. We're going to go into a ground effect. We know we're going to be bobbed up, and right there, when we start feeling the resistance, we're going to keep on pressuring the collective down until all the way down on the collective. And consistently, every single one of your landings will be soft. Because you analyze where ground effect is. Now, consciously, yes, when you feel that resistance, it's going to bob you back up. So yes, you need to pressure the collective ever so slightly down to allow the descent to keep on going. We have a target in front of us, which is the white light, and we gently raise that collective, but in a consistent, slow fashion upwards, super slow. We don't rip it off the ground, and off she goes, up, and gently she will come up by herself, like a good girl. She will sit on top of her ground effect, and once, even if you let her drop a little bit, that pressure is going to be sufficient for her to hold that altitude. Make sense?
Yeah.
Always nice and soft, especially in this kind of terrain, because even though we looked at our skids and everything, we could hook something. So now if we rip it, oh, we might start inclining the aircraft dangerously in one direction or another, and that can induce what is called a dynamic rollover. So nice and soft on the pickup. Very nice. We have obstacles in front of us or around us? Did you detect them all?
A few sticks. But
okay, then where's the other stick? Ah, you see? Yeah. Instantly we're moving our head or we're thinking about it, so boom, we're here, you're stable, right? Yeah. So, boom, hold it. Small movements, not too long, but pay attention to what's taking place around you. Where's your tail? If you're going to make a turn, are you going to get close to something, etc., etc. See what I mean? Be aware of your surroundings. Very good. We know we have those little sticks behind. Doesn't matter if we're, oh, maybe they're going to call us. No, they're not. Right here, Take a target in front of you.
Number 182, where are you parking?
Don't move the cycler. The big box, perfect.
182, roger. Continue down the runway, turn left on
lower the collective gently.
Traffic short, final, no delay.
Let it sink, it's okay, it's under. There we go, we have that little resistance. And we're coming back on the ground. Descends gently, collective, all the way down when we're done. Simple stuff. Yep. Oh, easy said, but not done, I know. Now we're going to cheat, quote unquote, a little bit, so we're going to put a little bit of that left pedal, a little bit of sack leg to the left, and gently raise that collective. You have your target in front of you, palm trees and anything. Don't look too close, but yet not too far when you think about it. But still, between that stick and
182, hold your position and ground point.
Raise gently, bit of right pedal if needed. Ooh, good. Okay, so obviously there was, as far as analysis of how much left pedal, it was a bit too much, right? So if you see it goes to the left, then press it to the right. Oh, this blah blah. But at one point,
Tango's look at the ground. Current victim tower standby. Bye-bye.
You'll have all the information that you need and why those things are taking place aerodynamically, mechanically, and you think about it to work, well, after all, do whatever is necessary to control the aircraft, you know?
Yeah.
What you want the aircraft to do between those three controls, you can make it happen. Right pedal, gently, look far outside, bring it actually to a little bit of altitude, there we go, so you have a nice stable hover up there, the ground is away from your mind.
Contact ground point 75.
Right pedal, 90 degrees, attempting to hold your position, very good. Beautiful. A little more of that right pedal. And you're going to go towards the control tower now. So there's that cyclic. You feel how the pedals are a little bit stiff. You felt that? So that's what's taking place. You feel a correction. You realize, actually, it's not the pedals that are stiff. You're fighting your feet. Because now you realize, oh shit, I need the left pedal. But now, subconsciously, you realize that, shit, why is it so hard? Oh yeah, because my right feet is putting all that pressure. So now you release the right feet, and now you forgot that you had a lot of pressure on your left. So it comes in one big piece. So let's do that. Right here, you're going to take the right feet off the pedal.
Okay.
And you're going to set it on the ground. And very gently and slowly, you're going to apply left pedal. If it starts rotating too fast, like now, you release the left pedal. Release that pedal. There we go.
And it's going to eventually stop, right? Because
exactly. Don't.
The tendency is to.
Yeah, I mean, now later on we'll play with the torque. We can do a lot of things. We can do a departure without the use of pedal. We can do an arrival without the use of pedal. Remember, these are counter torque devices here.
26 or clear land, July, November.
A little bit of left pedal again. If it goes a bit fast, don't even think about putting your right feet on. If it goes a bit fast, all you got to do is release that pressure, and the aircraft will release it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very good. So it shows how little you need. So if you want, you can all practice or put the right feet back on. It's up to you. But therefore, the position is good actually. I like it the way you have it because you have kind of the tip of your feet. Never allow this though. I mean, unless you start feeling comfortable to where you want to stretch your legs, and sure, it's more comfortable than having a flat feet on them. But this is an invitation to being heavy on them. And remember, this is a big muscle group. We don't even realize how strong that is. So once we start putting that, you'll know at the end of a flight if you had too much on that note, physically. If you had to go, let it go, slide. You have the room. For example, here, how would you stop that? Let it slide. Yeah. There we go. Raise your collective just a little bit. That's actually a break when you think about it. There we go. Good. You'll know when you were a bit hard on your pedals following what we're doing now, for example. You walk out of the aircraft and your back hurts. All that pressure is going to go right there in your lumbar. And we don't sit that straight, so it's a lot of pressure in our back. And we walk out of the aircraft all crooked. Light feet will preserve your back. Okay, you have your target in front of you. Wind is non-existent. Let's start a bit higher. We're good with good foundation. Right there, hold your hover. It's steady, right? Don't move that cyclic, look far outside, don't move your hand. You have it anchored in your leg. Lower the collective gently, slowly. Wait for ground effect, which is about now. Resistance is right there. The aircraft wants to bump back up, correct? So you pressure the collective down. Until ground, more down, until ground contact all the way down now with that collective. There we go. When you feel that lean, ever so slight,
then we have to put it down.
You don't even think. Okay, so let gravity take over.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I'll raise the aircraft off the ground. We have a little bit of that pedal, it's enough.
Left pedal and left cyclic.
A little bit, but important to target, because if you see that target starting to move over to your left and to your right, that means you're going to have to adjust. Yeah, you're going to have to adjust your pedal input. Pop. Nice, very nice. Let it slide. Look outside, breathe in, breathe out. It's the Zen moment of the now.
Exit the tower, frequency change. Request frequency change.
November 4 Alpha Tango.
Very good.
Pull out of top 120.
Okay.
120.2. Good day.
We'll do an air taxi back to shelter west from this position. Okay, so normal takeoff profile and everything, and eventually at one point there's going to be a deceleration to where you can perform the final portion of that approach as normal of an angle as possible. We'll see. Executive Tower, Helicopter 3112 Tango for an air taxi from the observation deck to shelter west.
We got the 12 taxi, air taxi approved. Do not overfly any taxiing aircraft. Landing ramp is at showing risk. Altimeter 3008.
Air taxi approved for 12 Tango. Thank you. Boom. Now go. We push. Okay, do it. ETL, right? Ooh, push.
Yeah.
If it helps to move your body forward, sometimes it does with me. Do it. Oh, by herself, you release that pressure. She wants to climb up. These are performance aircraft, we know that, standard 22, so right there the deceleration starts. But that's next, it's almost a bit of a performance maneuver. So we're using a bit of that collective on the way down. Right there we got almost a normal approach profile angle. The rest of it you finish, okay? A little bit of raise. It's maybe the wind playing a little bit with us. It does. One going forward. It is your target, yes, but for now, anyway, don't look too much down quite yet. Later on, yeah, you'll look right down at your skin. Try to take a target, I would say 25, 50 feet in front of you. You know, don't look too, because of course that motion, especially now with the light, is going to accelerate. Relative motion, that is.
Yep.
So it might transfer into your hand. Gonna go around, yeah, can go, be careful with that sign, of course. Cut between the pad and the sign. Be high if you want. Oops, sorry. Just be aware of that sign. So we're going to pass it. Now you see this? That position, the tail is completely clear. So if I'm to put my left pedal in there,
yep,
there's no way, so boom. Now, the spot. So the trick really is to kind of, okay, line ourselves up, which is approximately like this, right? Let's say, give or take, find a sweet spot. Right there. I'll look down to see if my altitude is adequate, and I really try to control everything on the aircraft before I get on the pad. So here I got a little bit of messy wind, but we go very slowly towards it. And once I'm on it, I'm going to allow almost the whole pad to disappear from the front portion of the windscreen. And land it right there.
Okay.
We're on it?
Yep.
We're on
almost to the,
a little bit on the side?
right, but fine.
Yeah, you see, this is, we were discussing that, the lines anyways. Now for the shutdown procedure, it's a roll of the throttle, and you're going to bring it up under 80%. Why is it so dark?
Because of the sunglasses.
Yeah, wow, look at that. At that stage, you can secure the aircraft by putting all your frictions on.
95 prior to taxi.
And switch that off.
Active on.
And the cyclic friction is right here as well. It shows an arrow pointing to on or off. The car beat is up, so you can push that car beat all the way down, and there's a latch.
Lock it.
You can lock it, correct. Now the aircraft is secured. Some people do that. They do this to make sure that, for example, look, if I'm allowing the RPM to grow, right here the governor won't kick in. But if the governor was on, eventually it doesn't take that much. Boop, I'm just going to put a touch of pressure, and she's going to kick right there. Now, not a huge deal. You notice it, you close it down. What Robinson wants to, well, now, thank God, I think it's not something that we have to deal with so much. But people would literally get out of the aircraft on even sometimes I've seen it. On windy days, they keep it to idle like that. The wind picks up the RPM a little bit on the high side. There's no weight, more importantly, nobody to control the aircraft in there. The governor kicks in, the aircraft starts to fly. See where that goes. So anyways, we are secured because we have that's instinctively done as soon as we landed. Boom, we brought the RPM down, the frictions are on, the throttle is down for the cool down process. We're waiting for the needle to go underneath the number 3 of that 350 figure. Once we have that, we can roll the throttle down under or into the idle by rolling the throttle completely towards you. Disconnect the clutch for 30 seconds, which doesn't work. We'll do here. And we're done. Very good today, huh? Solid stuff. You're getting a very good feel.
We're getting a bit better on hover.
Oh my God, the hover. Let me look at the back there and it said, well, you know where it is.
Yeah.
You know where it is now. So it's not something, I know it's extremely cliche what I'm going to say, but it's the best way really to explain that. It's very much like a bicycle. Once you know where that CG is, you never lose it. It might be rusty if you don't practice enough or whatever, yeah. But within 15 minutes you're back where you were. Anyways, figuring out your balance. Same thing with that. When you know where it is, you're never going to really lose it. Okay, now it's the fine-tuning and this and so forth, the wind. Good enough on the temperature, you can roll it all the way down and disconnect the clutch for 30 seconds. Once 30 seconds is reached, you can pull the mixture up to turn the engine off. Now sometimes we forget. Well, we'll be reminded because since the tension is gone on the belts, the engine is going to be free to start racing up slowly, and the RPM on the engine will rise. You'll hear a change in noise. Right there, you know. But it's not where ideally you would like to turn it up, because now you have those belts that are loose in a turning sheave that's going to erode them, fatigue them early in their life.